Greetings, this is Frosty Thundertrod, and today I am coming back to Battletech. I had started uploading a series of Battletech before, but the sound was incredibly bad, so I ended up deleting the entire series. Now, hopefully my sound is much better, and I'm going to start a new campaign here in the 1.3 version. Actually, this is 1.5.1. So it's got a lot of improvements since the original launch of Battletech. A lot of the mechanics have changed. So bulwark used to be like a mandatory. Every mech warrior had to have bulwark. And with the way that the game has changed, that's not true anymore. So it should provide a more interesting gameplay design. I do not, however, have the Flashpoint DLC installed. Hopefully, once the Asphalt season gets going fully, I'll just buy this season pass on Steam and get all 3 expansions at once. So let's go ahead and start a new campaign. We're going to customize the campaign. Alright, we're going to skip the prelude. I've seen the prelude too many times, and I think everybody else has seen the prelude too many times. Alright, we're going to go in Iron Man mode. Unequip mech, so that whenever we get a new mech, it will be a bare mech. It won't come with all the normal weapons and stuff already attached. Mech destruction. So if I have a mech that's, cored out, meaning the center torso is destroyed, I lose the mech. I'm going to leave lethality off, because sometimes you can survive your mech being destroyed and sometimes you can't, so I kind of like the way it is set up normally. Alright, let's go ahead and start the game. Now, my computer is 10 years old and actually under specs for this game. Plus I'm recording here while I'm playing, so my load times are exorbitantly long. This is not a normal indicative thing of this game. First battle mech, the Mechie, was developed by scientists and the military of the Terran Homogeny in 2439. Long time from now. As we keep waiting for this old antique to load. Hopefully I'll be able to get my computer replaced here over the summer. That way, when MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries comes out this winter or late fall, I'll be able to play that. Now, this computer does play MechWarrior Online pretty well, but I really quit playing MechWarrior Online once they added the third-person view. I have dabbled back into it since then occasionally, but it never became a steady game for me again. Although I did have to go in and get my Thor.
I am Kamea of House Urano, High Lady of the Oregon Reach, Protector of Coromadir, and the Sword of Restoration. But I am not a hero, no matter what the stories say. A hero would have sacrificed more, compromised less.
Really, the cutscene music is completely overriding the narrative.
You know this, of course. You were there. My father used to tell me stories about the ancient times, about the Star League, a golden age of prosperity, upheld by the great mech warriors of old, guardians of the innocent, protectors of the peace. I always dreamed of following in their footsteps. I was too young to see the truth of things. After all, it wasn't heroism or a noble cause that won me the throne. It was hiring a mercenary, skilled enough, perhaps ruthless enough, to carry the day. Hiring you. I still don't know if you fought for honor or for the thrill of it, for belief in my cause, or just in my money. But whether it was your noble heart or mercenary mind, your actions gave us hope. That makes you a hero in the eyes of history. Whether you believe it, that's up to you.
Battletech restoration, huh? Huh. Alright, welcome to the Regan Reach. The Regan Reach is a small kingdom in the Rimworld periphery, a region of space that lies on the outskirts of the more densely colonized inner sphere. It is the home to the Regan Coalition, a federation organized around a parliamentary monarchy and ruled by the Arano family. For 3 generations under the rule of House Arano, the Regan Coalition has remained a relatively peaceful corner of the periphery. It is here that your story begins. Alright, let's create my character. House Kurita, Draconis Combine. These are based on Japanese. Free Worlds Leagues. This is one of my favorite inner sphere. It's still a monarchy, but they're a kind of more like England. You know, they're a constitutional monarchy with a lot of elected people at lower levels. Federated Sons, House Davion. In the Mech Warrior games, House Davion is quite often portrayed as the good guys. I'm not sure if they quite essentially mean it, but especially in Mech Warrior 4, for the most part, Federated Sons, you know, House Davion, were the, you know, the quote-unquote good guys. That's where House Steiner were the enemy. They claim to be, you know, a free and open society, but really they are just another, you know, kingdom. Lyran Commonwealth, House Steiner. You know, the old joke, you know, the Steiner's Recon Lance is 4 Atlases. Basically big, heavy, very industrialized. Capellan Confederation, House Leo. This is based on China. It's a very, it's communist in space. Basically, that's what it is. Magistry of Canopus. Alright, this is a Outer Rim, a minor power. It's considered a matriarchy. The chief of state can only be a woman, usually of the same House Centrella. But for the most part, the chief of state, or the, I think the magistress they call her, is a figurehead. She doesn't have very much power, kind of like the Queen of England. And it's even an elected position, but it's an elected for life position. The magistry itself is a very open and liberal society. Kind of think of like what San Francisco kind of tried to be before it turned into a cesspit. You know, it's very, this is kind of what left-wing America dreamed of what America could be, you know. Very open, tolerant, and kind of hedonist, really. You know, so it's a respectable kingdom, and one I would consider joining. At the Tauran Concordat, this is the largest, most powerful faction in the periphery. They're almost on par with the Inner Sphere Great Houses. You know, as far as technology and organization, they actually are older than all the Great Houses, which says something. They have very strong individual rights, but they're also very closed and isolated into themselves. They don't like outsiders, and if you ever get them mad at you, they never signed the Antares Convention, which is the Battletech version of the Geneva Convention. So when they come to fight you, there are no rules. They will do whatever it takes to win, no matter how dirty or underhanded. I mean, they will just do it. So these are not people you ever want to mess off. In many ways, they're kind of what right-wing America always wanted to be. All right, Rimwood Periphery. You know, this isn't a single state. This is a lot of different states. You know, this is kind of a generic, you know, you come from the periphery. Deep Periphery. Let's see. This is, you know, like, there's no remaining real-world equivalent to this. This would be like what Western United States would have been, you know, early 18th century, you know, when the first colonists were arriving there. I mean, you already had the Indian tribes that had been there, you know, for hundreds, if not thousands of years. They had their own thing, but they, you know, they were kind of isolated, insular into themselves. Then you had the, you know, various little unsanctioned, you know, colonies popping up and causing trouble. And that's basically the Deep Periphery. So I am going to come from... This is a tough choice because I like both of these two. And I'm also kind of a fan of the Free Worlds League. But since it plays a bigger part of the game, I'm going to go ahead with the Manistry of Canopus. Yes. Although immigrants to the Aurigan Reach, your family soon established a comfortable presence in a small backwater system on the edge of Aurigan space. By the time you were born, your family became the de facto ruling nobility of the system's only inhabited planet. You were the oldest child, heir to the family titles, and ancestral Blackjack, an old Battletech, an old Blackjack BJ1. I really think that they chose that just for the BJ joke. This is where you meet Raju, Mastiff Montgomery, a veteran of the Succession Wars whom your parents had hired for a season to train you as a mech warrior. Raju was a strict but capable teacher, and you quickly became a skilled pilot under his tutelage. It was an uneventful life. Yeah, if you count, you know, stomping around in a giant death robot, uneventful. Alright. You were exiled. Now... in my last campaign, I chose this option, saying, you know, reasoning that my pilot had a thing for the girls and a rival family had set him up with a false rape accusation. But I don't think that's going to fly this time, so that's kind of insensitive, so I'm going to go with a more struck out on your own. Alright, so basically, Frosty, you know, felt the urge to do things and wanted to do things, but was kept in a padded room, you know, gilded cage, you know, because he was the young master. So even though he wanted to go out and do things, you know, anytime he tried to do something, you know, somebody was always there jumping in to do it for him. So finally, he just stole the blackjack and took off on his own. Aurigan Coalition soldier. Now, granted, at this point, my character's only 16. So, I don't think he would be a soldier. Frontier pirate. I want him to be a somewhat noble person. Solaris Gladiator. Maybe. But I really like the Merchant Guard. Yeah. Because it is a noble, if not, you know, outright flashy profession. And look at that. It just so happens that the Sundered Guard logo replaced the default in-game logo. I wonder how that happened. While escorting a supply caravan to a small outpost on the outskirts of the Aurigan Reach, you were set upon by pirates and left for dead. Raju happened to be visiting the capital city and picked up your distress call. Why was... This makes no sense. If I was on the outskirts and he was in the capital, how did he get my distress call? Upon rescuing you, he offered you a job in House Serrano, Royal Guard. So it is that you find yourself united with your old mentor, preparing your ancestral blackjack for guard duty on the coronation day of Lady Kamea Rano. Alright, so let's create my character. I'm going to go with a he. Alright, call sign. Frosty. First name. Oh, this is a good question. I could just use Froster, but my last name is Crescent. Way back in a long time ago, I wrote a origin for Frosty Thundertrod, the half-giant ranger, so I'm going to go ahead and use the original first name, his first name there, Trim. So, Trim Crescent, call sign Frosty. Alright, so now let's customize my portrait. No. That doesn't even look close to me. Let's see, it's a female. Let's see here. Maybe I'll start with... Yeah, because a lot of these guys are a little bit more scruffy and kind of meant to be, you know, badass. Maybe this one? Yeah, I think I can work with this one. Alright. See here. Adjust the camera. Yeah, that looks good. Alright. No scars, that's good. No makeup. Definitely no makeup. There we go. Let's go hairstyle. Now, my hair is very bushy. It's almost... Yes! Perfect! Almost an afro. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Let's see. Mess around with the lighting a little bit. Yeah, that'll work. Alright, clothing is fine. Let's just look at the other options anyway. Yeah, I like that one a little bit better. Okay. Blue eyes. Let's see here. No, that's too dark. Alright. Oh, let's get rid of this facial hair too. While I often grow a beard out because I'm too lazy to shave, I prefer the look of being clean shaven myself. Alright. Expression. See if we can get one where he actually smiles. No, there's a smear. Smirk. That's kind of a smile. Complexion. Yeah, it looks kind of plastic, but I'd say that one looks good. Alright. Now, hair roots. I have light brown hair, so let's try to make light brown. Or blondish brown. It's too dark. Yeah, I like that. That's about right. Alright, so this is Frosty Thundertrod in the game of Battletech. Alright, confirm. So now let's see where we actually start. The story so far. On the day of Lady Camilla Rano's ascension to the throne, her uncle Lord Espinoza and his daughter Victoria launched a desperate coup. It didn't seem that desperate to me when I played through it. Through surprise, sabotage, and strength in numbers, their forces quickly secured the capital and solidified control over the Oregon government. With help from you and your old mentor, Master Montgomery, Lady Camilla, along with her close friend and advisor, Alexander Madeira, attempted an escape. Mastiff sacrificed himself to cover their exit, but their dropship is destroyed during the attempt. In the aftermath of the battle, you and your mech were recovered by Darius Olivier, the executive officer of a small mercenary company in need of a new commander. 3 years later. Alright, more long load screens. I think this is going to drop me on the first mission versus Majesty Metals and Mining. Loading screen, loading screen. All the more loading screen. Flamers generate no heat when fired, but they can quickly overheat an enemy battle mech. They're situational. Flamers, when they're in the right environment and time, are awesome. I mean, they just do amazing things for just shutting down enemies. But overall, since they are so finicky to use, I don't like them as weapons. The leopard's waiting. Yeah, I don't get how gravity's supposed to work on the leopard class, since it's a aerodyne, in other words, a flat one. Using thrust to produce gravity in flight would have you like pressed up against a wall. You'd be standing on what would normally be the wall. So, alright, begin mission.
Command interface initiated.
All right. Okay. Yep, so here's where we start.
Coordinates received. Copy that.
Roger that.
This is actually a recreation of MechWarrior 4 Mercenaries on first mission. It's the same two parties. It's a different location because MechWarrior 4 Mercenaries, the location was beachside where there was a lot of water. This is obviously a desert.
You are trespassing on Majesty Metals and manufacturing property and acting in collusion with a domestic terrorist organization. Cease your advance immediately, or you will be fired upon.
Alright, so my first priority is to take down the turret generator, which will knock all the turrets out on the map offline. Alright. Decker is my so-called scout mech, but in his current configuration, he can't afford to scout, so I'm going to have him reserve. And the way the game actually works out, there's a scouting role is very kind of suspect anyway. Firing at the Shadowhawk. Shadowhawk can take it. I'm not sure why, if the original developers at Battletech intentionally made, you know, default loadouts so bad.
Engaging target.
That's 2 hits.
Good to go.
Glitch. Move up here with the Vindicator. And you
On
can
my
finish it
way.
off probably with your PPC. There we go.
Tell me what to shoot.
There we go.
Brought it down, Commander.
That takes all the turrets off the map. Alright.
Yes, Commander.
Now, Behemoth's loadout is terrible. An AC-5, a medium laser, an SRM-2, an LRM-5. It just doesn't know what range it wants to fight at. There's a very narrow band where all your weapons can be effective, but it really is a very, very narrow band. Alright, so... And he's kind of blocked in. She's kind of blocked in, so let's step up here a little bit. Yeah, 30%. Yeah, these shot percentages are terrible. But I'll go ahead and try for the spider. It turned out better than it had any right to, but alright, okay.
What's up, boss?
I want you to move over here and provide some flanking fire. I moved him into the trees so he can have some cover. It's a 20% damage reduction. It's not huge, but against what I'm fighting.
Firing all weapons.
Alright, one hit. But the enemy spider's
Scored a
almost
critical hit.
goner. Blackjack's a very light mech for its tonnage. I know that makes sense, but it's lightly armored for its tonnage. Okay, so Decker,
Ready for
I want you
orders.
to come down, move over here. Let's see, yeah, where can I want somewhere where I can have some invasion chevrons and still fire? Right there will work.
Copy that.
Alright.
Negative damage.
Now, what's going to move here? The enemy spider. He's going to shoot at Frosty again. That's okay.
Warning. Armor low.
Yep. Okay. Now, Frosty. I could just fire in place, but I don't want to do that. How about if I move over here and fire? Gives me one evasion chevron. Okay, it's going to turn off the auto cannons because they really have no chance of hitting. Now I could use precision strike to increase my chances, which I think I will. Because this commando is the most dangerous thing on the map to me right now.
Targeting severe armor.
Alright, well played. That was some good
Enemy
damage.
mech. Critical damage detected.
Alright, that commando is significantly
Waiting
less
on you,
dangerous
Commander.
now. But I'm gonna melee attack it to try to finish it off. Because the Vindicator right now is set up more for long range weapon. Oh, and he missed. But here comes the small laser. Good enough. Good enough, Glitch.
Should have run when you had the chance.
Alright, Behemoth.
Standing by.
Well, heck, Behemoth, what am I gonna do here? Maybe if I back up over there? Yeah, no. How about here? No. Alright, I'm gonna jump up over here and shoot from here.
Jumping.
My odds of hit, since he has 4 evasion chevrons, are very low. But at least something should hit him.
Targeting for something.
Medium laser hit. And I damaged one of
Think I
his
hit
medium
something
lasers. So when
I've
it
got
says like medium laser or whatever weapon crit, that means that that weapon now has a penalty to accuracy, but it can still fire. Well, thank you for coming down here. Oh, and you missed Frosty with that kick. Spider's kung fu fighting. Alright.
Commander?
I want you to reserve Decker. There's really not much for you to do here. I'm going to just have my other heavier mechs melee this spider down.
I'm being flanked.
So, yeah, one of the reinforcements just shot at Behemoth, so. Alright, Frosty. Kick him in the face, please.
Engaging physical
Or
attack.
headbutt him. Destroy the jump jet.
Enemy mech. Critical damage detected.
Yeah, jump jet's not that critical. Alright, Glitch. I want you to come over here and punch the spider.
Waiting for orders.
Can you reach the spider, though? Does not look like you can reach the spider. Alright.
Uh-huh.
So circle around this way. Hopefully that'll give you enough range to... Yeah, not really, but... Right leg destroyed. Knocked down. Good. Knocked down. Pilot injured. Generally trying to rack up a bunch of pilot injuries are good, because then you get more salvage.
Orders.
But in this mission you don't get any salvage anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, let's try firing here. I'll turn off the LRM-5.
Engaging with target.
There we go, making it finish off the spider.
That's a kill.
Orders?
Alright, Decker, I need you to come over this way. I'm moving Decker down here, so hopefully he can draw out these 2 vehicles and deal with them, while my 3 medium mechs deal with this mech. Right. Wait there, Decker.
Reserving action.
Okay. So I want
Ready for
Behemoth to
orders.
come out first, because she has the most armor. Actually, no, I changed my mind. I want Frosty to come up here because he has no indirect weapons. So if he can get up here and get line of sight, which does not look like he's going to be able to. Alright. So just move here.
Full throttle.
Alright, and those vehicles are moving down here towards Decker. You won't be able to come after him this turn, but
I
next
hear
turn he
ya.
should be in place to do so. Alright, Glitch, move here.
Sprinting.
That gives her lots of evasion chevrons. Alright,
Waiting
Behemoth.
for orders.
Come up here beside her.
Coordinates received.
Now the Shadowhawk's a lot faster than the Vindicator. That's the reason why the Vindicator had to sprint and the Shadowhawk just did a normal move to get to essentially the same place. Alright, Decker.
Yes, Commander.
I want you to just brace. Reserve.
Waiting for the shot.
Alright. Okay, Frosty. Want you to come up here. Yes, right here is a good spot.
Engaging jump jets.
Alright, let's see whether my hit chances are pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and go precision strike. Turn on my autocannons. And go for the right torso. Because the right torso has his biggest gun, the autocannon 5.
All weapons committed.
And almost all the shots go to the left torso. Oh well. This works better with more skill. Right now, your pilots are all very green. So all precision shot really does is just give you a better chance to hit the enemy, period. Alright,
What can I do for you?
I want you to go right here. Turn and fire.
You betcha. Special delivery.
Now, you saw there after she hit this target with the PPC, it said sensors impaired, which means that this mech now has a -1 chance to hit,
Receiving you.
which is the same as having 1 evasion chevron. Alright, Behemoth, I want you to move up.
Acknowledged.
Alright, and lay into your counterpart here. And once again, I hit it on the left side, even though I'm firing from the
Waiting
right.
for orders.
Alright. Decker, you're going to reserve. I want those vehicles to move closer before you attack. I guess they're not going to move. Alright. So, Decker,
Standing by.
move out. However, now you can see my allies right here, the blue, these are allies, these are all these turrets over here. The enemy's within range, so the turrets are going to fire in this round.
Let's see how you like this.
Alright, that was enough to destroy that Scorpion at least. In the next turn I'll be able to
Reporting, one
destroy
left
the
vehicle.
second vehicle. That's if the turrets don't get it. Nope, they're not going to fire. Alright. So, Decker, your turn again.
Receiving you.
This is a great little tactic you can do with light mechs. Reserve to the end, and then since you go first in move order, that very next turn, you get to move again. So basically, you get 2 attacks in a row.
Ugh.
There we go.
Reporting. Enemy vehicle eliminated.
Now let's just finish off the Shadowhawk. I'm going to just stay in place and fire and just, try to gun through them. Alright, now you can see I'm overheating, so I'm going to have to turn some weapons off. The AC-2s have the least chance to hit, but they also don't generate much heat, so there we go. Alright, now another thing about autocannons is that every time you fire autocannons in a row, you take a refire penalty. But as you skill up, you can get skills to remove that penalty or reduce it. There we go. Good shot.
Enemy mech destroyed.
Roger.
Yeah, I've got to destroy this tower right here. Decker can probably take care of it on his own.
Good to go.
It's gonna have to rotate. Alright, 50 hit points, yeah.
Locked on.
There we go.
Flat.
Great job, Commander. Double back to our client's platform. The sooner we can collect our pay and break orbit, the better.
Yeah, about that. Does anybody smell something suspicious? Well, you should.
Location confirmed.
Copy that.
Don't need to tell me twice. Position confirmed.
Heading out.
Got it.
This is like the stupidest double cross of all time.
Moving out.
They couldn't handle Majesty medals on themselves. We just walked right over them. And now suddenly they think that they can just take our mechs.
Yes, Commander.
Not the most well thought out ambush.
On it. Putting my weight into it. Vehicle down.
To make matters worse, they wait to drop the double cross until we're right back in their base. And look at what's right here in the center of their base, making a nice, perfect target. A turret generator. All I gotta do is shoot this and all their turrets go down. Now, turret generators are actually from MechWarrior, not from core Battletech. So you will only see these in story missions. The random missions, turrets are self-powered. There's no turret generators there. Alright.
Good to go.
Glitch.
Roger that. Firing on target. Target destroyed.
Alright,
What's up, boss?
Now come over here, destroy that vehicle.
Move order received.
Kaboom.
One for the scrap heap.
Waiting for orders.
There's one more vehicle. There it is. Now since I sprinted, I won't be able to fire on it this turn from Decker. But it's spotted, so now my missiles can hit it from the other. So where's he gonna go? Out here. Not 2 hits, that's actually surprising.
I'm taking heavy hits, Commander.
Commander.
Right, stay in place, rotate in place, and destroy this galleon.
Confirmed.
There we go.
Vehicle trashed.
Their double cross went about as well as you could expect.
Mission successful.
Alright, here we go with long loading screens again. Yep, made the best of a bad situation. Speed is more important than firepower in escort and rescue missions. Yeah, sometimes. I mean, I'm sure if you go with the very slowest mechs, that might prove a problem, but generally speaking, just about any mech will have enough speed to do the job in those missions. Almost there.
Docking sequence commencing.
Rent to own. Ursurine system. Yep, better find us better clients, Darius. Is this why y'all made me your commander so I could break up fights and review financial reports? Yes. Alright, what's our best case scenario? How many jobs do we pay the loans? Truthfully, can't even say. We're in pretty deep hole. Yeah, I did a buy here, pay here card deal that worked out kind of like this. Alright, we're in a bad spot, so what are we going to do about it? He says he's getting all the jobs he can. Yeah, well, we just got betrayed on a official job. I mean, how worse can unofficial jobs get? Alright. And we can't go anywhere because our jump ship access is being held hostage. Well, I'm not afraid of taking risks because I've never left that gilded cage of my parents called home. We're gonna have to be just as bold. Alright, we're gonna look for jobs outside of the MRB. Alright.
All hands, make ready for docking maneuvers.
Huh. Alright, so now there's a few things we need to do. Let's check to see how far away. Alright, to get to this mission is a 12-day trip. Alright, let's go take a look at our mech warriors.
Receiving you.
Behemoth, she's one of my favorites. She gets to be my tank. You know, she's brave, Illyrian, criminal background. Because she was part of a mercenary crew that went back to turn pirate, but she didn't go along with it. Military veteran, inner sphere, and spacer. All these things can tag to different random events that pop up. Let's see here. Miranda, a gorilla, grew up in the Lyran Commonwealth. She was a tall kid who made her name for herself as a girl you don't mess with. Sounds like my wife. Yeah, my wife is 6'2" and mean as hell. Yeah, but she's my favorite.
Ready for orders.
Now, Decker, he's going to be... They put him in a scout role, which, as I said before, the way this game works, there really is not much need for a scout role. What he's going to be my flanker. He's going to be the run that runs around the sides and gets back and side shots. So he's going to pilot faster mechs, and he's also going to do quite a bit of melee. Now, Frosty, my main character, he's going to be a crippler. He's not going to go toe-to-toe the way that Behemoth does. What he's going to do is he's going to stay at mid-ranges and try to go for precision strikes, you know. Try to hit, you know, very specific parts of mechs to disable them.
Good to go.
Glitch is going to be my long-range support. She's going to be the one that spams LRMs at a distance.
Waiting for orders.
Medusa is the backup pilot, you know. His training will be kind of general and all around so that he can jump into any mech and do okay. I am going to hire one other mech warrior because I think you need to have 6. I've never really needed more than 6. So, alright. Let's actually check the hiring hall, see if there's anybody interesting here.
Standing by.
All these people can become
Receiving you.
excellent mech warriors, you know, however you want. They have certain
Reporting.
tags to them which you'll never really see until you hire them. But I'm looking for our Kickstarter ones because they usually have a little bit more story to them. These here are just randomly generated. So quite often
Ready
you
for
just
orders.
pick them, at least you just pick depending on whether or
Receiving
not
you.
you found their voice pleasant or annoying. Tortuga Commoner, Gang Enforcer.
Waiting for orders.
Leal Nobility, huh? Max Injuries 3.
Yes, Commander.
Leal Servitor.
Yes, Commander.
Kingwood, actually... He would be a good addition. I mean, he doesn't really offer anything special, but, you know, he'd be a good addition. But I don't need him right now, so I'm not going to hire him. Alright. Now, let's check the store and see what's for sale here. Really nothing of any value, I'm sure. And, oh, but they do have one thing I want. I want this large laser.
New weapon systems available.
Heat sinks.
New equipment available.
And I'm going to buy these medium lasers as well.
New weapon systems available.
I know. Later on in the game, you get flooded with so much of this stuff that you're selling it like crazy, but at this point in the game, you actually need it. Alright. Now, let's go to the mech bay. Alright, well, first of all, this Locust, it's going bye-bye. It's going into storage, and I'm going to sell it soon. Now let's start our refits. Alright, first of all, the Spider. As you can see, almost all of its armor is very low, so I'm going to take off all these jump jets. Now I'm going to install 2 machine guns. A machine gun ammo. I'm pretty sure this came off that Locust that I sold. Alright, now I'm going to maximize the armor on it. Now, you see this thing's got about twice as much armor, so it can actually take a hit or two, as to where before it was a very weak mech. I mean, one solid shot and it goes down. Now it can take a little bit of a beating. It can't jump anymore, but it can still run around extremely fast. This is still going to be Ducker's mech for now, but now he's got more up close and personal punch. So he gets, on the flank or behind somebody, he can unleash on them with the medium lasers, which are good at any range, and the machine guns, which are only good at short range. Alright.
Logged and noted.
And that's going to take 9 days. Alright, now the Shadowhawk. Alright, now Shadowhawk's actually a halfway decent long-range support mech. It's a 55-tonner and it's relatively fast, but it doesn't have the hardpoint loadout to be a good melee mech or brawler. It does have 3 hardpoints for ballistic weapons, but not really something I want to use right now. Get the jump jets out of here. Alright, the jump jets just free up a little bit of space. I'll remove these LRMs too. And move the SRM to the leg. Because when ammunition explodes, it does damage to everywhere around it. So in the leg, if it explodes, it basically takes the leg off, you fall down, and you might do damage to your torso. If it's up here in the torso, you know, it does damage. Like if it's right here, you know, it does damage like this. If it's down here, it does damage like this. You know, and if it's in the center torso, granted, if you're getting, you know, through the armor in the center torso, you're about to die anyway, but that can speed up the effect considerably. AC-5 is a long-range weapon. It has a minimum range, but a relatively short minimum range. The medium laser, the SRM-5, and the AC-5, or SRM-2 and the AC-5, can work together fairly well. 2 days, so that's 11. How much? Alright, if I do this, this is 14 days. Alright. Confirm.
On it. I'll let you know when that's done.
Now let's refit the Vindicator. Alright, the Vindicator is actually a fairly decent tank mech. It's slower than most mediums. Its average is, its armor is about the same, a little bit higher, but it has a lot of energy weapons, and medium lasers are great weapons for a tank. Alright, I'm going to once again remove the jump jets. And I'm going to leave the LRM-5 on here. I'll maximize the armor and call it good for right now, because this is still going to be, for right now, this is going to have to be a long-range standoff mech. But as I move on in the game a little bit, I'm going to reconfigure it to be a short-range tank. Now it's going to be the one that stands toe-to-toe right up front.
Right. I'll get it in the schedule.
Alright. And once again here, doing the same thing, removing the jump jets. I would like to do a full refit on it, but I can't. I don't have the time to do it right now. Now, the AC-2 and the medium laser do have a small overlap point, so they're okay for now. But eventually, I'm going to remove the 2 AC-2s and 2 medium lasers and have it be 2 large lasers. This is going to remain Frosty's mech for a little while. Let's maximize the armor and confirm.
Logged and noted. Shouldn't be too hard.
Alright, and with that, I am going to call this episode to a close, and thank you very much for watching. Until next time.